Vehicle Spec family, welcome back to another video. Today we have a 2026 Honda Civic Sport Hybrid in Blue Lagoon Pearl with the black interior. But there are some differences from the standard Sport and of course the Sport Hybrid. The appearance will be the same, but you do get a little bit more goodies on the inside. Starting off with the front fascia here, you have full LED headlamps on the Sport Hybrid. So LED high beam, low beam, turn signals, and daytime running lights. And the housing itself, you can see is black housing, just to give a little more sportier appearance up front. You do have the upgraded front bumper. I believe this started in 2025. LED fog lights are no longer available on the Sport Hybrid. Actually, all of the Civics and the sedans no longer actually have fog lights. So the Touring used to have it. That is now gone. You do have this updated bumper. You have a functional air curtain there. The lower portion of the grille is flat black, and you do have an opening there. The upper portion is also flat black. You have a chrome Honda emblem. You can get that blacked out through your dealership, especially with all the black accents. I think Blue Lagoon Pearl is a beautiful color. Just like 2025, you still have your wide windshield. You have your slimmer A-pillars. You do have your updated wipers with the nozzle on the wipers themselves. You do have a camera for Honda sensing. That is standard. I did not mean to zoom in that much. On the side profile here, we have a gloss black mirror cap. The lower portion is flat black. Around the windows is also flat black. Body colored door handles. You do have some body lines going along the side. And just like 2025, you have the same sport rims. So these are 235/40 tires wrapped around 18-inch rims. That'll be the same for Sport and Sport Hybrid. Now, this Sport Hybrid is equipped with a protection package. So wheel locks, splash guards, and I believe a cargo tray in the trunk. Coming along to the rear of the Sport Hybrid, you have a shark fin style antenna. It is body colored. You do have your third brake light here, and I'm not sure that's LED. I don't think that's LED. I think that's a standard, but it might be LED. I'm not too sure. You have your trunk here with a built-in spoiler, which is nice, almost kind of like a duck build. For 2026, Sport is blacked out from factory, which is nice. Hybrid is also blacked out from factory. The emblem is not, but you can get that blacked out through your dealership, and Civic is also blacked out from factory. Unlike the headlights, the tail lights are combination. So you have LED brake lights, but your turn signals and reverse lights are standard bulbs. Yes, you can see that in there. The license plate lights will be LED. You have your backup camera exposed there underneath as well. Reflectors in the rear bumper. A little bit of flat black to break up some of the Blue Lagoon Pearl, but no exposed exhaust tips. Now, this is the 2-liter without the turbocharged engine, so you do get a single exhaust on the right side. You don't get dual exhaust like the turbo Civics used to get. Before we jump into the Sport Hybrid, here is your key. You should be really familiar with this key fob if you're familiar with Honda. Pretty much all the models that go into this key fob versus the more rectangular one. You have lock, you have unlock, you can pop the trunk open. You do have remote start and a panic button. And for remote start, you're gonna lock it once. You hold the circle, you're gonna see one flash. You let go, and then it will flash at you 6 times to let you know it's running. It'll stay on for about 10 minutes, and interior temperature will go up to 72 degrees, and it'll also defrost your windows for you, which is a nice, cool feature. If you want to turn that feature off, you hold the circle, one flash, it shuts right back off. You do have a button on the side to remove there's a key blade that's in the fob for emergency. You can unlock the driver door if the battery dies, or you run this over, or something happens like that. So because you have smart key, you also have smart entry. And on the door handle here, you can see you have these ridges. You tap it, locks all your doors. And then if you put your hand in there without pulling, unlock the door. For the driver door, once you put your hand in there, it will only unlock the driver door from factory. You can go into settings and change that. But if you walk to the passenger's door first, put your hand in there, it'll unlock all 4 doors. If you want to be old school, 1 tap of unlock the driver door only. 2 taps of unlock will unlock all of the doors. Before we jump into the Sport Hybrid, let's take a look at the door card on the driver's side. So you got hard touch up here. You do have kind of like piano black going on down here, hard touch. You have kind of like a vinyl cloth material here. The armrest is also cloth material, white stitch. Auto up down for the driver and passenger window. You have to hold for the rear window. Power locks, power mirrors. You have your trunk release button there. You have to hold it, pop the trunk open. Bottle holder, storage, speaker, grille. Like I said, the exterior and the interior of the Sport Hybrid is identical to the standard sport non-hybrid. You even have these combination seats where it's kind of cloth in the inside and you have the leather on the outside. I think it's leather trimmed, white stitched. The driver and passenger seats will be manual. So manual adjustment, you pump up and down to go up and down. You pull this lever to move the seat back, forward and back. And then you have the bar you pull to move the whole seat forward and back. For the passenger side, it's a 4-way manual. So only forward and back, and you can adjust the seat back, forward and back, and that's pretty much it. There's no up and down options available for the passenger. So let's go ahead and jump into the Sport Hybrid. Foot on brake, push the button there, turn this guy on. And because it's a hybrid, sometimes the engine will whirl to life. Sometimes you won't hear the engine kick on at all. It'll just be the electric motor turning things on. Now, first thing you're gonna notice in here is the leather wrapped steering wheel. So that's standard on the Sports. Wrapped around some piano black here, some white stitching here. You do have some controls on the left side, right side. You do have the half digital, half analog cluster as well. So the right side is analog with a speedometer. You have a digital speedometer. You have a customizable power gauge, and you can change different information on that left side. There, on the left side of the steering wheel, you have next track, you have previous, you have volume, you have your source. So which source? You can go from AM, FM, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth. You do have a home button for the digital display. You have a scroll wheel for your display, and you have voice command. On the right side, you do have your cruise on and off, cancel, resume set, adaptive cruise control distance here, lane keeping assist on and off here. Behind the steering wheel, you do have a plus and a minus, but this is not your standard paddle shifters. This is what you'll use to adjust your regenerative braking. You do have multiple different levels standard on the hybrids, which is nice because a lot of hybrids give you one B mode or one level and that's it. The Civic, you do have multiple different adjustments. For your lighting control here, you do have off, auto, parking, and on. No fog light, like I said, switches available, but you do have auto high beam assist standard. And for your wiper switch, you do have off, intermediate, low, and high. And I believe the Sport Hybrid will add intermediate, where your standard Sport will have off, low, and high. Back to the controls on the left side. So we hit home. It'll bring up your home menu here, and you can see you have range and fuel. You have your power flow. So power flow will show you what's going on. So you see the battery level. You see is the engine powering the wheels? Is the electric motor powering the wheels? Are you charging the battery? You can keep track of what's going on with your powertrain, range and fuel, what you're averaging, and your range. So this one, it has a full tank, but it's not like a full tank. But this one has a range of 433 miles, which is pretty decent. And for it being on the parking lot, 30.4 mpgs is pretty great. It's one thing about the Sport Hybrids, it's very fuel efficient. Average speed and your engine time, there you go. And I believe, was that trip A and trip B in there too? Yeah, you have trip A and trip B in there too, which is nice. You have your driver attention meter. So this will tell you, are you fully awake to drive? If you fill up those bars, your Civic will recommend you to pull over, take a break. You're falling asleep. Don't kill yourself. Who have their seatbelts on. You have your maintenance minder here. So 15%, time for an oil change. Safety support. So here you can turn off some of your safety features. So you have your road departure mitigation, blind spot information system. Actually, I don't think I even show you guys on the outside. That is standard on, actually for 2025, is it 25? Yeah, I think 25 finally got BSI on the standard Sport, and the Sport Hybrid will give you this regardless. But yeah, you have this on the Sport Hybrid, but now you have it on the lower Sport model, which is nice. The non-hybrid. Collision mitigation braking system on and off. If you want a little bit more features, then you get a Sport Touring. If you want more standard Honda sensing features. No content is with view nothing, just your power gauge, and you also can change your miles per hour to kilometers in that display. You have vehicle settings, so here's how you change different things: TPMS, driver assist systems, the meter, keyless access, and then for example, since you have smart entry, oh, it's not even under, I'm over here thinking it's under keyless access. I think it's under door. Yeah, door setup, and you should see walk with auto lock. There you go. It's off by default by factory, but you turn it on. For example, if you turn off your vehicle, walk away with the key, it'll automatically lock your doors once it senses the key left the vehicle. So it's a cool feature to have. You can customize the display, decide what shows on the list there, warnings, and back to power flow. So the engine just turned on to charge the battery. So if you're ever curious, like I said, to see what's going on with your powertrain, you can see it there. Now on the left side of the steering wheel, you do have piano black around your ear vents there. You can turn that guy on and off. You have your interior dimmer switch. If we zoom in here, we got the sport pedal, so gas, brake. No sport dead pedal though. So gas and brake is sport, no sport dead pedal. You have the lever here to pop the hood open. And if we go back up to the steering wheel, we do have a manual adjustment steering wheel. So it's in and out and up and down. So you have telescoping, which is nice. Come along to your touchscreen display here. So it is a 7-inch touchscreen display, just like the Sport and just like the LX. If you want the bigger display, you will have to go up to a Sport Touring that gives you the 9-inch touchscreen display. You have a volume knob. You do have a tuning knob. Let me zoom in there for you guys. You have next track, previous, shortcuts for your phone, AM, FM radio, Bluetooth, USB, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The Sport Hybrid will have a wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto setup. If you want wireless, you will have to step up to a Sport Touring. Back key there, you have your menu there, and like I said, it is touchscreen, so you can either use the knobs or touchscreen. Easy to use. You don't have multiple different screens or things like that. Everything is kind of plain and simple. Underneath the touchscreen display, you do have that signature air vent that's been in Civics for a minute now, and it kind of went over to CRVs, of course. A lot of Honda products have this kind of style, and it's surrounded by piano black, which is not my favorite, but at least the whole thing's on piano black. I had to make sure the sun wasn't in your face blinding you guys. So dual zone climate control for your cluster down here, that's unique to the Sport Hybrid. The standard Sport will give you a single zone. Also, you have 3-level heated seats on the Sport Hybrid. The standard Sport, I don't think you get heated seats at all. I know Honda added heated seats back to the SI, but I think the Sport still doesn't give you heated seats. You have to get the Sport Hybrid and up. You do have the air circulation outside, auto climate control modes, front defrost, on and off of the whole system. You twist for the fan speed, heated side mirrors and your back glass, AC on and off. Real simple layout, easy to use. Right below your climate control, you have 2 USB-C ports and a power outlet. No wireless phone charger. That's something you get on the Sport Touring. You have to upgrade to get that guy. You do have a leather wrap shift knob, park, reverse, neutral, and drive. You don't have a S mode for your transmission because you do have a dedicated sport mode. Put this guy into reverse. You do get Honda's multi-angle backup camera. Hopefully you guys can see that guy. There we go. It does have the brand new film on there that you got to peel off, so you can see some glare on there. With Honda's multi-angle backup camera, you have a wide angle, you have a standard view, and you have a top-down view, and you do have cross traffic on and off as well, and you do have guidelines, and it's flickering on the camera, but it doesn't flicker in person. If you turn the wheel, it has trajectory as well, which is a nice feature. With the cross traffic, when you're in reverse and there's a car coming from this way or this way, it will alert you and let you know there is a vehicle, or sometimes the people. It's not made to detect people, but sometimes I've actually seen it detect people, that someone's walking behind your car. Also, you probably hear this chime. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Whenever you're in the full electric mode, like we are now, it plays this chime on the outside to warn people you are coming that way. Someone's not paying attention, because these hybrids are very quiet. You don't just run someone over and give them a warning, I guess, before you run them over. But below your shifter display, you do have your drive modes here. So it's a toggle switch, and you can see you have 3 different modes. So you have Sport, you have Normal, and you have Econ. Econ, of course, gives you the best gas mileage. Normal is a good blend between Sport and Econ, and Sport mode, who cares about gas mileage? You put it into this mode. And remember, for the Sport Hybrid, it makes 200 horsepower, which is about the same horsepower as the SI and as the Integra, and a lot more torque too, versus the 1.5 that the Civics used to come in. If you want the most powerful Civic right now, not including a Type R, it will be a Sport Hybrid or a Sport Touring Hybrid. And I know the Prelude is coming out pretty soon that will have this powertrain as well, but that one will be a more sportier drive with the 200 horsepower. Now down below there, you do have a blank button here, because this is a hybrid. You don't have to worry about having an idle engine stop feature on and off. It does it automatically, and it's more seamless in the hybrid. Electronic parking brake, you do have brake hold. I love the material that Honda uses here. I'm happy it's not fully piano black like that guy. You have your cup holders there. Armrest is soft touch, it is cloth, white stitch. Open this guy up, you do have a little coin tray that you can move forward and back, and there's no plugins in there, just storage, but it's deep and a decent size. Let's take a look at the glove box. It is not lockable, but it is damped, not lined with felt, but bin style. Plenty of space in there, nothing too crazy. Above your touchscreen display, you do have a standard rearview mirror, no auto dimming. Sport Touring actually gives you that a standard, and I don't think it's an option on the Sport Hybrid. You do have LED interior light throughout your Sport Hybrid, same thing for the passenger, or you can turn them on when the door open. I'm gonna leave this guy on off. And one thing the Sport Hybrid is gonna give you over the standard Sport is a power moonroof. So pull this guy back, it opens all the way for you. You can also push this button straight up and it'll ventilate for you. Someone pass gas, or you leave somebody in the car or something like that, you can let it ventilate and you don't have to have your windows down. Ford will always close it, and you have to manually close back the shade. I almost forgot what this is called. I was thinking like 2 minutes, like, what is this called? Now, the Sport and the Sport Hybrid do have a black Highlander. What am I even talking about today? A black headliner, and I think that's standard on pretty much all of them but the LX. Another thing that the Sport Hybrid will give you over the standard Sport is, I think, light in the vanity mirrors. So they both will have vanity mirrors, but I don't think you get a light in the Sport, or maybe you do. Can't recall. But yeah, I think the Sport Hybrid gives you that. On the driver's side, it will be the same thing. You get a light, not LED, but at least they give you a light. Let's jump out of here and take a look at your rear passenger seating. This is how wide the rear door is open. It's not 90 degrees, but it's pretty wide. So put a car seat in here or a booster seat for parents. Won't be that bad. Speaking of car seats and booster seats, you do have your anchors built in the back of the seats. You have the little symbol here. You pull back the Velcro piece right here, and you have the bar right there. Is it a Velcro? There is a little piece of Velcro in there, but on the Integra is a little bit more nicer, trying to get back there. So on the door card back here, you get downgraded. Everything's printed hard touch. You don't even get the piano black back here. This is flat gray or flat black. Everything hard touch. On the driver, this is soft cloth, hard touch on this guy. I feel like it's kind of like vinyl. Your armrest, soft touch. You do have a tweeter, you have a speaker, you have a volume knob, and a bottle holder. Door handle, nothing too crazy. The rear seats do mimic the driver with the half leather trim and the half cloth in the middle. You just don't get that kind of unique design that you have on the driver. Let's jump into the back seat. I do have the rear seats all the way back, 5'10", and you have plenty of legroom back here. The Civic is one of the spacious sedans in this class. Now, you don't have any USB-C ports back here, and you don't have no air vents back here either. And I think the Sport Hybrid give you a passenger map back pocket. I think the normal Sport don't give you none at all. Driver doesn't have any. You do have your armrest here, leather trimmed, cup holder. Feels nice. This is the middle part right here, leather trimmed as well. You do have an LED light back here. You have your door handles, and that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy back here. A little corner window back there. You have your smaller back windows too, if you're comparing it to some of the older Hondas back in the days that used to have these huge windows. But it's a nice place to be. The rear passengers, they'll be comfortable. They're not gonna be too squished in here. I mean, maybe if you're like 6 foot and change, you may have to try to make it work back here. Let's take a look at the cargo space in the Civic. You pop this guy. Now, it doesn't open all the way like the Sport Touring. The Sport Touring has a strut that helps out. This guy, you do gotta lift it up a little bit more. Because this one has a protection package, like I said, it will have the cargo tray. This is an option you can add to your Civic, most likely from factory. Well, from factory, it won't come with a tray unless your dealership adds one, or if you add one, but you have the carpet underneath. You get carpet floor mat standard. All season floor mats are also optional as well. Front license plate bracket. You can fold down the seats 60-40, which is nice. On the LX, it's one piece and that's it. There's no splitting. You do have your standard light, not LED. And then taking a look underneath the floor here, if you lift this guy up, you do have a flat fix kit. You have a funnel, and look like your liquid, I guess, for the flat fix kit, and just storage. There's no spare tire available on the Sport Hybrid. I think the hybrids don't get spare tires at all. The LX and the regular Sport will give you a donut, but this guy won't. So I'm sure some of you will remove this foam back here and put a spare tire back there anyways from the LX or the Sport. Let's take a look at what's powering your Sport Hybrid. Most of your Honda fans out there should be really familiar with this guy already. So it's a 2-liter 4-cylinder mounted to an electric motor. Combined, it makes 200 horsepower. Honda's been using this 2-liter for a while, so very reliable motor. And this combination of the, oh, look at that, it's kicked on. This combination is very fuel efficient. Show you guys the window sticker real fast. It's a 2026 Civic Hybrid Sport. And you can see this gets you a 50 city and 47 highway. MSRP is $29,295. For Blue Lagoon Pearl, it is a $455 premium charge. MSRP with destination handling is $30,945. Here are all four trim levels for the 2026 Honda Civic Sedan, and we're gonna focus on the Sport Hybrid. So the Sport Hybrid, I just want to show you guys some exterior and interior colors. We're gonna start off with crystal black pearl, no premium charge for this paint, and interior color only comes with black cloth. If you look at meteorite gray metallic, you have the option to get black cloth or gray interior, which is new and different because usually the sports Civics, if you look in the past, only came with black interior. So it's nice that Honda give you a lighter interior option now. You have Rally Red, and that only comes with the black interior. You have Solar Silver Metallic, which only comes in black interior as well. So these four colors, no premium charge. If you get the new Blue Lagoon Pearl, you have the option between black or gray, and you do have a $455 upcharge for the paint. Same thing with Platinum White Pearl, black or gray, and then you have Urban Gray Pearl, which only comes with black cloth interior. We're doing the Blue Lagoon Pearl with the black interior. Let's take a look at some optional wheels on the Civic. Now, I've done a few Civic videos, different trim levels, and I've always mentioned how good these optional wheels look. This is the best optional wheel I've seen on the Civic in a long time. Usually, I just don't agree with the design that they have, but these are fire. These are fire. That's something I definitely would put on my Civic. I would definitely have to get one of those. And you do have some packaging you can add to your Civic. All-season protection package 1, 2, and the standard protection package. Actually, the model that I showed you guys had a protection package on there. And with accessories, there's plenty of different accessories you can get on your Civic. This is the same between all of the Civics. So I'm going to just kind of breeze through here, but you have body side molding. I do not like the deckless spoiler that's available on the standard Civic. I like the SI's spoiler. This thing is just too round for me. It needs to be a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit less round. But door edge guards, door visors, you can black out the emblems. The underbody spoiler, I actually like how this looks, and the front underbody spoiler as well, and the side skirt. That's something I would probably add all three if I was interested in the Civic with those wheels. Same thing with interior. You got some goodies. You have illuminated door sill and all-season floor mats, and not really that much accessories for the interior for the Civic, and of course you have the engine block heater. Now I went over the pricing in the video already, so the current MSRP is $30,945. Drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about the new Blue Lagoon Pearl. It started in 25, carried over for 2026. Would you rather just a standard sports sedan, or would you rather get the sport touring? I know a lot of people are not a fan of hybrids. They rather just get, the 2-liter 4-cylinder, no electrification at all. But to be honest, this powertrain is a great powertrain. Good gas mileage, 200 horsepower. You just cannot go wrong. The sport might be too plain for some people. Some people want the fully loaded model. Drop a comment below. Let's talk about it. Thank you for watching. I will catch you in the next walk around.